Thanks, Scott.
All right, let's start things off with speed limits. Where did this come from? Out of thin air, all of a sudden Queen's Park is considering lowering speed limits from 50K to 40K in a bid to improve pedestrian and cyclist safety. Are you surprised at all that we're hearing this now? Were people calling for lower speed limits? James, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I think it's them trying to distract from the issue. I mean, we've seen the Liberals have issues with messaging so many times and kind of go back to these very soft issues. I think the city has the power to do what it needs to. Cities across Ontario have the power. And I don't think it's a matter the province needs to be involved in.
James, this might be the only time you and I agree on anything today.
Mark that down.
I do agree. Just last year, the Liberals came out and said that they would not be addressing this issue at all, so I don't understand what the turnaround is about. I think that there has to be stricter enforcement of the speed limits already in place, stricter penalties for those that do get into accidents, that do cause harm to civilians and cyclists, and that's the way to go about it. I think that 50 is a regular speed limit for people to drive.
Larry, is this all smoke and mirrors?
Well, no.
Were we asking for
their
this?
answers are smoke and mirrors, quite frankly.
But I don't remember a public outcry
Well,
for this.
no, but if James says that the government is trying to distract, from what? From the fact that they just gave Hamilton assurance that we're going to get lots of funding for a rapid transit system. I know we're going to talk about that later. From the fact that the Premier has a high approval ratings. What are we distracting from? Having said that, however,
he could only think of the two. There were lots of other things that we could have brought up.
There's a list that I can give, but I want to give you some time as well. The point, though, is this, and I accept James's rationale, that the city's best equipped to come up with speed limits in different parts of the neighborhood. There shouldn't be one blanket, one service fits all. We have some areas where they've reduced the speed limit. We have areas where it makes absolute sense to increase the speed limit. We should leave it to the municipality to decide.
Why do you think then the Liberals are getting involved in that? If
They're probably being lobbied by the activists from James's party. They can't go to the
That's not what James says.
Well, they can't go to the NDP because what will that get you? They can't go to the Tories because they believe in cars and not people. So they go to the Liberals because they're in power.
Where do you think this is going? Do you think this is going to peter out? Do you think people have an appetite for this?
I don't think it's going to go anywhere. As Larry said, we do already have different areas where the speed limits are lower if certain neighborhoods have addressed the issue and wanted that to be such, like in the North End. We see it's down to 30. Whether you like it or not, that's what they figured was safe for the people in that area. It's close to the water. That's what they wanted. But we can do it as a municipality ourselves.
Do you think that people are going to jump on board this? This reminds me of Andrea Horvath bringing up the insurance issues during the last election. It was just, it was sure we all want lower insurance.